What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be talking about my Raceland coilover ownership. So I've had the Raceland coilovers on this car for about 6 months now, but I've owned Raceland coilovers altogether for probably close to a year and a half because I also had them on my old 2-valve. So keeping this video relatively short, I'm just going to be kind of breaking down all the different categories of the coilovers, you know, in terms of what I've discovered while I've owned them. The first one to talk about is affordability. Obviously, Raceland coilovers are kind of known for being like the cheapest entry-level coilover, I guess you could say. If you're getting just the coilover kit, no caster camber plates, no rear upper mounts, then you're looking at about $515 or something, $520 with tax. So for a coilover kit, that's pretty damn good. I mean, you're not going to find any kind of decent coilover for that price, honestly. So $500 for coils, I'd say that's a steal. That's the reason I kind of went with them, is because, you know, they're literally half the price of like BC. Now granted, BC, a great coilover, it's just $1,000 at the time. I just really didn't feel like spending that. The next question is going to be performance. You know, how do they handle? Now, I don't really have anything else upgraded when it comes to my suspension minus the coilovers themselves. Side to side handling, I'll show you up here. It's pretty relatively planted. Now, in long corners, it honestly does tuck very well. But in short corners, I mean, granted, I don't have any sway bars or anything. I do get slight body roll, but it is planted pretty well. All in all, I'd say that they're pretty decent for, again, a $500 coilover when it comes to handling. Now, one thing with the coilover kit that does suck is bumps are atrocious. I mean, terrible. You hit a bump and it's like the rear shocks are just gonna go through the car. I mean, it is so bumpy and you feel everything. So when it comes to the ride quality, not good. Like, I can't make that shit up. Would not recommend. Now, I get in this car, you know, just to have fun, make noise, go for a cruise. So I don't really care about the complete ride quality of it. But I mean, I don't know if you guys can tell in the video, but like, this road obviously looks like there's very few imperfections, but I'm still like, I'm very shaky, you know, the whole thing feels shaky. And you hit a big bump, now the front's gonna handle it well, but then the rear, and I don't have these coilovers maxed out, but the rear just hits so hard. And actually, I lowered them a little too much right off the bat, and I actually ended up chewing into my tire a little bit because it just comes down so f***ing hard. Sorry, lady. So I guess the next category we could talk about could be the actual aesthetics of the coilovers. I mean, they are still coilovers with, I think, a max drop of like 3.5 inches, so they look damn good. And I mean, if you can drop it, you can really drop it with these. Now, I almost maxed the coilovers out on my red Mustang. I'll throw up a pic for you so you can see how low it was. I scraped everywhere. Like, I kid you not, everywhere. But it was low-key worth it for me because I literally never drove the car and I just wanted the low look. Now this, I love driving it, so I didn't drop it as much. You know, I probably dropped the total maybe 2.5 inches, 2.6, somewhere in that region. It's not donkey slammed. I think it's a perfect ride height. I'm not gonna lie, I do scrape occasionally, but the GT exhaust, as you guys all know, hangs extremely low. So there's nothing, it's inevitable at that point. There's nothing I can really do about it. Oh, you feel that right there? Jesus, oh my God. It's so intense. But anyways, you do get a full lifetime warranty with the Raceland coilovers, which is a huge plus in my opinion. Really no hassle. Something happens to them, you just email the company with your order confirmation and then you've got the new parts getting sent your way, which I think is a great advantage to these coilovers. So not only are they cheap, but they do hold their value in terms of warranty then. Their website's also set up pretty well. Now, the first time I installed them, this was almost 3 years ago at this point, I didn't know what I was doing, so there's actually a little message box too in which you can ask questions and even get specifics on products, which is pretty nice and I think a pretty good idea of them. Now I do have an install video of me doing the coilovers on the channel. I will also link it to this video. I mean, it's not like the best possible install you could find when it comes to coilovers, but I think I'm one of the only ones that's done Raceland coilovers on the Newedge. So if you want to see it, check it out. If not, I understand. When it comes to how the car handles, depending on the speeds, low and high speeds, it's pretty much the same. A very bumpy ride, very stiff ride. I had an H&R Super Sport spring kit on this and I did like it. It was not bad at all, but I wanted low, but I didn't want to get bags right now because they're so damn expensive. So this seemed like the best option. You know, they're an entry level, like I said, coilover. So they're not going to be the best. They're definitely not the worst. I mean, they're not eBay coils. They don't break. I haven't had any problems with stuff like that. I think they look good. So trying to keep this video just, I guess, all in all, relatively short. If I were to rate the Raceland coilovers out of 10, I don't know. I guess I'd say out of 10, like a 6.75. I'd do 6.75. They look good. They do get the power planted down well. They are pretty relatively cheap. They have a warranty. Now the ride is rough. You could definitely get better handling coilovers, you know, as a whole. Like, I'm not saying these are the best handling coilovers you can buy, but all in all, I mean, if you're looking for a cheap set of coils, I highly recommend this, especially if you don't get the caster camber plates. It is a cheesecake install. I mean, the whole thing only took me a couple hours. And it wasn't like a frustrating couple hour install. Like, it was supposed to be a couple hours and it actually was a couple hours. I mean, there's really not much to say. I keep kind of running over the same thing. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.